Hey there, it's Mark Goldstein, and welcome back to the Where to Gays Retire podcast. Okay, so you've been scouring Zillow, Idealista, watching YouTube videos about dreamy beach towns, or maybe Googling the best cities for LGBTQ retirees. We've all been there. And here's the thing, have you actually looked into the political climate of these places? Because let's be real, your retirement destination isn't just about palm trees, affordable property, and a good farmer's market. It's about your future. It's about living somewhere where you can be yourself, feel safe, and not have to worry about your rights or your peace of mind if they're on the chopping block. So today, I want to have a real talk about something most people overlook when dreaming up their next chapter: the political landscape of the places we're considering moving to. Sure, we check the weather, the healthcare system, the cost of living, taxes, transportation, crime, and maybe even whether the local bakery makes a decent sourdough. But how often do we ask ourselves, what's the political vibe there? Is the place that is this the place that respects diversity? Is it moving towards inclusion or away from it? Because, and I mean this seriously, the grass isn't always greener. You might find a gorgeous place, affordable, LGBTQ-friendly on paper, and then learn it's too late that the political winds are shifting hands in the wrong direction. Let's take Spain, for example. It's long been considered a haven for LGBTQ plus folks, progressive laws, beautiful coastlines, friendly culture, and it still is. But just recently, someone close to the Prime Minister, Pedro Sanchez, was accused of taking kickbacks on government contracts. Sound familiar? People are frustrated. The trust in the ruling PSOE party has taken a hit. If Spain's conservative PP party comes into power, and they will likely need the backing of a far-right Vox party to govern, we can see politics change quickly. Vox is no friend to immigrants or to the LGBTQ community. What looks like a safe haven could now, feel very different in a couple of years. And that's not just Spain. Countries around the world go through political shifts. Italy, Hungary, Poland, even parts of Mexico and South America, you name it. One minute it's wine and tapas and sunny afternoons. The next, you're watching headlines wondering if your visa will be renewed or if public sentiment is turning against outsiders. Here's my advice. Be proactive. If you're serious about moving to another country or even just another state, read their newspapers. Follow the local news. Look beyond the pretty Instagram shots. Is the government stable? Are protests breaking out? Is the leadership embracing diversity or stirring up fear about it? And don't just assume it's safer than where you're living now. Imagine escaping harsh policies in your home country only to land somewhere that's cooking up on its own brand of political nonsense. You don't want to jump out of the frying pan and straight into the fire. Yes, every country has some corruption. No government is perfect, but some scandals shake things up more than others. Some open the door for power to shift in ways that really do affect your daily life, your healthcare, your ability to get legal residency, your protection from discrimination. This episode isn't just about doom and gloom. It's about awareness. You've worked your whole life to be able to retire with dignity, freedom, and joy. Let's just make sure that choosing places that are right align with your goals, not just on the surface, but how they're run. Me, for instance, personally, I get a subscription to a Spanish newspaper every day. I just want to see what goes on politically, what they think of us, and what's happening in the Spanish political world. So today, we're not going to list the top 10 best retirement cities. You can Google that. Instead, we're talking about how to vet a destination, how to think like a detective when evaluating where to live next. We'll look at red flags to watch for in global politics. what to read, who to follow, and what questions to ask, and how to avoid the trap of wishful thinking when it comes to retirement relocation. Sound good? Great. Grab your favorite drink, tea, coffee, or something stronger. You'll probably need it, and let's dig in. So let's start with something basic. Just because a place has great weather and cheap rent doesn't mean it's right for you. Let's take Barcelona, for example. Lately, there's been a lot of loud and visible protests, not just about tourists, about how the influx of foreign money is driving up housing prices. Maybe locals feel like they're getting priced out, and I know they do. It's not just about short term vacation rentals. Foreigners who often have more purchasing power are buying up properties, which in turn raises values and makes it harder for everyday local people to afford homes. And when the property prices go up, so does everything else, rents, groceries, and so does, unfortunately, resentment. And that resentment doesn't always differentiate between tourists, immigrants, retirees, or digital nomads. You may be moving there thinking you found a peaceful retirement haven, but the people who grew up there might be seeing you as part of the problem that are making their lives harder. So that could change how welcome you feel. It can change how safe you feel. And it absolutely can change the quality of life once the honeymoon phase wears off. Remember, everyone is going to go through a honeymoon phase when they move to a different place. Everything is going to be great for at least 6 months, maybe a year. And then reality sets in. So, say you find a town in Portugal that's getting tons of buzz. Expats are flocking there. YouTube influencers say it's the next hotspot. But the local government is pushing back. Rising rents are squeezing locals. Anti-immigrant rhetoric starts creeping in. Suddenly, you're not feeling quite so welcome anymore. And that's the danger of chasing trends without digging deeper. And it's not just Portugal. Italy's feeling the pressure too. Cities like Venice, Genoa, Milan, Palermo, even Florence have seen protests with slogans like "Tourists Go Home." In Venice, locals have actually used water pistols to spray visitors. And in Milan and Florence, people are putting stickers on Airbnb lockboxes that say this city is not a hotel. And that's pretty telling, right? And the water guns reminds me of Barcelona. They do that quite a bit too. In Rome, the pressure is even greater because of the upcoming Jubilee year. Millions of people are expected to flooding the city, and landlords are pulling properties off long-term rental market and turning them into short-term tourist stays. That's pushed up rents by as much as 30 to 40% in some areas. Some tenants have even started cutting the locks off Airbnb boxes, and that's become intense. So this was under Pope Francis, who made that call before his passing in April 2025. Now that Pope Leo is leading the Vatican, we'll have to wait to see if this message continues to shape the church's role in social housing. Still, it still shows how seriously some people are taking to the issue, even when the church gets involved. You know, it's not just a local complaint. What's happening there is a good reminder. When housing becomes unaffordable for locals, the blame often lands on outsiders, retirees, tourists, digital nomads, anyone seen as having more money and fewer roots. So while you're moving somewhere for a better life, you might unknowingly walk into a situation where you're viewed as part of the problem. You don't really want to. That's very uncomfortable. And Mexico's seen something similar. In places like Mexico City, Oaxaca, San Miguel de Allende, locals have been speaking out. Some are even protesting. Rising rents, gentrification, and a cultural shift has sparked resentment. Some folks feel like the American and Canadian expats are showing up, living like kings and queens, and pricing them out. And while you might be thinking, I'm just retiring here peacefully, the reality is, if locals can't afford their own neighborhoods anymore, that tension can spill over into everyday interactions. I read a quote recently from a Mexico City resident who said, Americans can come here and live like kings and queens. Mexico is not cheap for Mexicans. And that really stuck with me because it's a reminder that even if we're not trying to, that we still might be seen as part of the problem. And it's not always about money. It's about culture. Some expats move to these places and expect to function like the US. They complain about the noise, about customs, about the pace of life. In one case, retirees tried to shut down a mariachi bar in Puerto Vallarta because the music was too loud. You can imagine how well that went over. The point is, it's not just about affordability or beauty. It's about belonging. And belonging isn't just something you buy. It's something you build over time with respect for the people who were there before you showed up. And hey, I'm not judging. I've been tempted to, but we've got to be smart about this. Look at what's happening in the US states as well. Some places are introducing laws that restrict gender affirming care, targeting LGBTQ plus youth, or limiting free speech. That might not affect you today, but will it in 5 years, in 10? Think long term. Ask yourself, does this place value diversity? How are minority groups treated? Is the legal system fair? Are LGBTQ protections written into law, or is it just assumed? And if you're looking internationally, can you get permanent residency? Can you marry your partner there? What happens if political power shifts next year? Do things change? These are not just buzzkill questions. These are the grown-up protect your peace questions. You deserve to feel secure in the future, not just financially, but socially, emotionally, and politically. So don't fall in love with a place until you've dated its politics. All right. That's it for now. Ways to, go onto Facebook groups. Um, ask if you know somebody that knows some locals, what they think of the current political situation. Usually locals don't like to talk about politics because of the bad politics that's happened in the past. So they're kind of nervous about talking about politics, but you should really try to find out. I hope this sparked some new thinking as you plan your next chapter. If you found this helpful, drop a comment in the Where Do Gays Retire Facebook group. Let's keep each other informed, safe wherever we go. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and above all, stay fabulous. Oh, one more thing. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all of this, that's normal. Nobody has all the answers, and no place is perfect. But if you go into your decision making with your eyes wide open, not just looking at the sunshine and cost of living, but also the politics, the vibe, the human side, you're going to make a much better choice for the future. For the future self, for your future self. I said last year, boy, every year I find different things that I need to research the hell out of places before even, going and making a decision. Before last year or the year before, I haven't even considered like taxes, how taxes can differ in different places within a country, let alone the entire country, and how it could affect your decision making. Now I've thought about politics because of the political situation we're here in the US. So again, make the decision and, you know, keep researching. It's not about scaring you. It's about giving you the tools to feel grounded, secured, connected wherever you land. So do your homework, talk to the locals, read the news, and trust your gut. Your gut always tells you the right thing. So, all right, now go enjoy your life. Don't forget to keep dreaming big, even if you have to do a little fact checking along the way, because usually we do. So, again, thank you for listening and watching the Where Do Gays Retire podcast. Give us give us a good review in Apple Podcasts, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.